Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in a series of videos that is all about Persian rugs and handmade carpets from around the world. And in this quick video, I want to introduce you to, I want to showcase a very special. This is almost like a one-of-a-kind type of thing. This is a old Hereke, a Turkish Hereke, but what makes this piece absolutely unique is the fact that it's about 100 to 120 years old. We're dating it to approximately the period of 1900 to 1920, and this is due to the type of silk that was used, also the signature, which I'm going to show you when I get behind the camera and we'll do the close-ups. This is a very rare find, and for those of you that are into Turkish rugs, or if you are just passionate about handmade carpets to begin with, this is the only round Turkish Hereke that I have ever actually placed my hands on. Yes, I have seen a few round pieces, museums, exhibitions, I've seen them in books, but I have never actually found one that I can actually hold in my own two hands and say, here it is. This is such a rare find, and it came about, I had a client of ours bring us a rug that, my clients being that we're wholesalers, our clients for the most part are the rug store owners. But sometimes, of course, through my website at mprugs.com and the YouTube channel, I also have my own private clients. But in this case, we had a rug store owner who brought us a rug that they wanted us to look at. One of their customers purchased years ago a round silk rug in Turkey. Now, they were told that it's a Hereke, but when we looked at it, it became pretty darn obvious to us pretty quickly that this is not a Hereke. This is, well, it is sold as a Hereke, but this is a Chinese silk Hereke. And this is also something that I feature in a lot of, some of my other videos that I've done where I have compared the Turkish ones with the Chinese Hereke rugs, and I try to show you the differences, just like I've done many of the other videos where I talk about the differences in whether it's in Persian rugs or whether it is just in rugs in general. Well, seeing the round Chinese Hereke, and we have seen others similar to it, I decided I'm going to call everyone I know of, our customers, our fellow rug wholesalers, and basically question to them all was, does anybody know of, does anybody have a genuine round Turkish Hereke? And lo and behold, of all the wholesalers that we know of all the retailers, one answered and said, yes, we have one, it's 1 meter across. And so I told him, I said, I want it. I want to borrow it, I want to look at it, I want to be able to, for those of you who have subscribed to my channel and to my clients, I want to be able to say, yes, I, Mike, got the pleasure, to me it's almost like finding a unicorn. This is one of what I call the holy grail type of rugs. But I can actually say that yes, for once in my life, I have actually held a round Turkish Hereke in my hands. That is how rare and special this rug is. And so I figured, unfortunately, the person who originally had purchased this, and this one is about 1.6 meters. This round piece right here, unfortunately, years ago, they went vacationing in Turkey. I think it came, from what I gathered, they purchased it on one of the cruise tours, and this is unfortunately quite common. They went on a tour, on a cruise ship, stopped in Turkey. The tour guides took them to the so-called bazaars, where the rug stores and everything. They went into the rug store, they saw a silk rug, and typically the way it's done is they go into the rug store, they see somebody weaving a rug, and so obviously they think, well, I'm in Turkey, I'm in a rug store, there's someone who's Turkish weaving a rug. Well, it probably means the rugs they're selling is obviously Turkish. Well, what they didn't realize, and this is unfortunately one of the common scams that they pull, is that in the back, the stock room, it's filled with Chinese Hereke rugs. And I have made several videos where I describe, unfortunately, the demise of the Turkish, the Hereke industry as a whole in Turkey. Yes, there are still a few being made, but they're so few and far apart that we can say over 90% of the industry in Turkey has unfortunately been wiped out in the last few decades. But this video is not about the differences between the Chinese and the Turkish silk rugs. This one is all about, really, I'm featuring this round piece that I'm about to put on the floor, and then I'm going to show you the close-ups and show you some of the unique features of it. So, but if you need more information about the differences between the Chinese and the Turkish Hereke rugs and all that, check out the description below. I'm going to put a link to the videos that I have made. They're in the description so that you can watch them. So I'm going to do what I always done, is I'm going to get behind the camera now, and I'm going to show you the actual close-ups of this absolutely one-of-a-kind Turkish Hereke. So I'm going to see you again here in just a second. So here I am back again behind the camera, and just to give you an example, I wanted to really showcase this Hereke to my fellow rug fans who are just, it appears that oftentimes they're even more passionate about Persian rugs than I am. Here is this rare signature manufacturer Hereke. We were able to decipher that. What we were not able to decipher is the very bottom. So if any of you can read this and you are hopefully smarter than the rest of us, feel free to give me some ideas and put them in the comments section. Also, if any of you happen to own a genuine Turkish round piece like this one, or obviously if it's a genuine Turkish piece, let me know. I would love to see more of them. These are so extremely rare. Like I said, this is the first one that I've held in my own hands. And just to give you an example of what, how special they are. This is a piece, as I stated, about at least 100 years old. We know it could use a thorough cleaning if this was something, for example, that we would be showcasing. But I'm just going to point out a few things to you. For example, you notice the stain mark. The stain mark is due to the seal. And again, I'm just going to zoom in. On old Hereke rugs, it is standard in the old days that they would have a seal, and you can see the puncture hole. The seals were put in the old days as a sign of authenticity. It would also have sometimes the name of the workshop. And so over the decades, this seal blackened this.
So this is actually a good sign. This is a sign with the puncture showing that this is a genuine piece. This is not just simply a stain. With these old pieces, another thing that you will find, and this is why I made a video where I talk about round rugs in general and how the fringes, top and bottom, are from the actual rug. This is with Persian rugs, this is typically what happens. But when you look at, being that there are fringes all the way around, what a lot of people don't realize is that top and bottom are from the rug, but the left and right side, those are actually added after the rug is woven. And in the case of the old round Turkish rugs, and this is something that I have seen also in some of the older, very, very old Tabriz as well as Gom rugs. And that is, notice the foundation. Do you see right here? This is right here the actual foundation of the rug. It is left intact. It is left in place. So with Persian rugs, they would oftentimes cut them off, and then they would tie them into knots, and they would close all of this off. And then if they need to, they would have to add the more fringes to it to make it look even all the way around. Here you have, and this is typical, this is every one that I have seen, either in pictures or that I have seen in museums or something. In every case, they had this type of foundation. It was left along the edges. Now you notice there is none at the top, none at the bottom. Bottom and top is perfectly fine. They were knotted at the end. But then when you go to the sides, this is where it gets a bit interesting. This is where you get the foundation. So again, for those of you that are into Persian rugs, this is a really, really unique piece. Like I said, this is something obviously I'm going to have to return to the owner. Also, another thing that I thought was unique, obviously, if you notice the flowers and everything, and the design almost seems to be going, the medallion, the outer, the wedges all seem to be circling around the medallion. Now there's something other also unique about this, and that is, you notice this pattern? I call it the leopard pattern. To me, yeah. Until my uncle looked at it and he just shook his head at me and said, okay, stupid. This is actually Islamic verses from the Quran. Kind of, sort of. Now, I do not know how to read and write Arabic, but for those of you that do, if you look at the writing, I have been told that if you took away some of the dots, apparently some of these markings were added. They are actually not part of the alphabet. But apparently there is Islamic scripture added inside. Now, and this is something that some of the Turkish Hereke rugs have oftentimes done. They did not want to combine Islamic verses in rugs, knowing that some people may walk on them. So they basically disguised it, from what I gather. And again, this is where I would love for you all to look at this and tell me if this is correct. According to friends and family, yes, these are not all of it, but included here are some verses, apparently from the Quran, or could be some religious verses, words. I honestly don't know. And so rather than stating something that I'm not too sure of myself, I don't want to put 10 different opinions of 10 different people up there. This is what honestly the comment section is for. So if you got some wisdom on these, please feel free to share them. And so I thought I'm just going to show you a very old, this is a truly unique piece. So I'm going to say my quick final goodbye to you. And so, but yeah. This is one of the holy grails of Turkish Persian rugs. So I hope you liked the video about our beautiful museum type of piece of the round Turkish Hereke. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I'll do my best. If you are into Persian rugs or you just like the channel, please feel free to subscribe or visit us at mprugs.com. Again, my name is Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you all these videos, and also thank you for your questions and suggestions. Oftentimes it is the ideas and the questions that I'm getting from viewers like you that basically encourage me to not only learn more, but also to go out and literally find rugs that I never thought of or never imagined that I would be able to find. So for those of you, I thank you for your questions, your comments. As always, I wish you the very, very best. Again, if you like the channel, feel free to subscribe, and I will be coming back to you with many more videos to come. Best wishes. Take care. Bye-bye.